Okay, hello. Welcome to the new way of doing things. My name is Rebecca Davis, and I am host tonight for Golden Backstage Pass. We are so excited that you make it out here with us this evening. It's the new way of doing things, and thank everybody who rolled with the punches when we had to reschedule a thing or two and get to you live tonight. So, tonight is a very special night. We are celebrating 19 years of Shunpike. Can you believe it? Old enough to vote? And we are here to raise $60,000 to keep Shunpike open and operating into the future. And you're going to hear a little bit more about who we are and who we help a little further down the line. But before we get going too much further, I would like to say that we are, as I said, streaming live in Seattle. And before we get rolling into the next activities, Shunpike acknowledges that we gather in community on the unceded traditional territories of those peoples, specifically the Duwamish. We honor with gratitude the land itself, its First Nations, and those who have gathered here since time immemorial. Thank you. So myself, I'm over here in Lower East Queen Anne, about 3 blocks away from the Swedish Cultural Center. So tell me where you are. You have to tell me in the chat. I'll read it in a bit, but tell us where you're tuning in from tonight. Where are you? Phoenix, Arizona, all the way to Tacoma, Philadelphia, Atlanta, LA? Well, wherever you are coming to us from, we are so glad to have you. So tonight, there's a couple of fun things. First of all, we are having an auction. What? Yes, I said it. We are indeed having an auction. And there's a way to do this, to watch and to give. We suggest you have 2 devices going, like maybe have it on your phone and then also have it on your lappy-toppy or your iPad, however you choose to do that. That way you can keep watching, but you can also donate and keep an eye on your bids. So here's how you do it. You have to create an account, but it's so easy. Even a theater major like me did it in about 25 seconds because yes, I'm bidding on a thing. Oh yeah, you bet. So here's what you want to do. Get your credit debit card out, right? Head on over to this URL address I'm about to give you. shunpike.org/golden-2020. One moment, please. Oh, apparently I'm very blurry. The technology is all new and we're all doing the best that we can with it. Oh, okay. All right. So it's going to be a bit of performance art whenever I'm on. I'm told that you can hear me, but you can't always see me. It's like a podcast or radio at this point, right? So listen to what I'm saying. www.shunpike.org/golden-2020. Let me say it again. www.shunpike.org/golden-2020. 2020. Okay, so put that in your device right now. You could, if you wanted, you could test it out right now with a little donation. We'd be happy enough to take that. Once you get there, you're going to be prompted to create an account and a password. And when you click donate now or place bid in the online auction. So here's a note. You may already have an account from when you downloaded your ticket. So instead, you'll be prompted to sign in. It's the red text when you donate or bid. And if you're having a spot of bother getting this all set up, please let us know in the chat, and somebody will be able to help guide you through the process. As I said, I'm a theater major, and I did it in about 25 seconds, so you can do it. You're going to need to add your credit card there. Click your name in the top right-hand corner, my left or right. Go to settings, select payment account, click add payment method. It's perfect, right? Easy peasy, you can go do it. Do you want to know what I'm bidding on? I'm going to tell you, even though it might be to my detriment. I'll tell you more about it later, but there is a picture, a portrait, a photo by Charles Peterson of Kurt Cobain taken backstage at the Paramount in the early 90s. And I want it. But it's real good. I'll tell you more about it later. But right now, without further ado, I would like to introduce somebody so special to us tonight. Lena Sandsmark, executive for Shunpike, who has a word from our staff and board.
Welcome to Golden. Thank you for getting your backstage pass and joining us as we take a close-up look at Shunpike and a behind-the-scenes look at what some of the great artists and arts groups we work with are up to. Our organization was founded 19 years ago by a group of newcomers to Seattle. They called it the Shunpike Arts Collective. Since then, we've shortened the name, but the idea of the collective and our commitment to sharing resources remains the same.
Shunpike's mission is to empower artists through equitable access to vital expertise, opportunities, and business services.
Shunpike envisions a community where independent artists and artist groups thrive, both economically and creatively.
And where their work is widely valued as fundamental to the cultural, social, and economic well-being of Washington State.
We embrace all art forms, as well as racial, cultural, and social diversity.
Since March, many of the groups we work with have simply had to hit pause on all activity. In fact, Washington State artists and arts organizations were among the first to face disruption and financial loss as a result of the ongoing pandemic.
Thankfully, many others have been in a position to revise how they create their work and how they bring their art to a larger audience.
Because of the nature of what we do, we're uniquely positioned to facilitate crucial support to groups and organizations struggling financially to continue operations.
As fiscal sponsors, Shunpike has been providing back office administrative capacity to over 150 independent arts groups annually. Each client benefits from this cost-efficient way of doing business while also getting access to resources and opportunities that might otherwise be out of reach.
And this year, in order to help our sector navigate the multiple crises we're facing, we've worked as a team to gather resources, host webinars, and bring colleagues from dozens of organizations together to share information with each other.
Shunpike is one of many organizations in the region playing a vital role in stabilizing the arts sector across the state of Washington.
In addition to fiscal sponsorship, Shunpike runs several community programs that provide individual artists with opportunities to grow their careers. In spite of the pandemic, we've managed to keep most of these programs on schedule. While the city shut down, the artists in our storefronts programs have activated our streetscapes with their work, keeping the visual arts visible to the public, while most galleries and museums had to close.
In collaboration with several corporate partners, by the time 2020 comes to a close, we'll have exhibited 42 artists through storefronts installations in South Lake Union, Westlake, and Bellevue. And as facilitators of Amazon's Artists in Residence program, we help place 5 local artists in dedicated studio space on the Amazon campuses in Seattle and now also Bellevue.
With support from both national and regional funders, and in collaboration with other regional arts organizations, we continue to develop a biennial Artists of Color Expo and Symposium, adding a digital edition coming this March.
And in collaboration with Skanska, we've been able to try out the studio at 2&U, a workshop and rehearsal space dedicated to hosting artists free of charge from the communities most impacted by statewide restrictions. We can't wait to fully launch this new space once we get to phase 4 and beyond.
2020 has been a challenging year and reminded us of some pretty basic principles. We're stronger together, A good system is one that gives equitable access to shared resources, and each individual plays a vital role in the collective. All of us at Shunpike are proud to serve an organization that's founded on these principles. Our collective consists of thousands of emerging and established artists, and we rely on support from government funders, from corporations, from audience members, and from individual donors like you, all of whom are necessary for us to exist and for us to thrive. And when the arts thrive, so does our society. So thank you for joining us tonight, for supporting the work that we do, and for supporting the arts.
Wow. Such a good video. Thank you, Lena and staff. I don't know if you realize that I'm on staff, but I am. I've been a client manager for a little over 2.5 years. Could not be more happy. Makes me a senior. Woohoo! Graduation. I don't know what any of that means. Anyway, I also want to take a moment quickly to thank our sponsors for supporting Shunpike to ensure all artists have equitable access to expertise and business services. Vulcan, 2U, Beneficial Bank, and Columbia Bank. Yay! Tonight's goal, as I said earlier, is $60,000, and with your help, we're going to sail right past that number. I want to thank a couple of our donors who've already donated tonight. We stand right now on the edge of about 10 grand, which is a fabulous place to start. Only about 50 more to go. I want to make sure and thank Leah Baltus, Kirk Bentley, Bill Predmore, Kira Burge, Patricia Rovzar, Greg Gear, Kathy Gatton, Thomas Green, Ryan Hicks, Olson Gundig, Margaret Berry, Siri Smith, Victoria Glacier, and then I've gotten a couple other names since then. There's so many people. I mean, it really does, as the lady said, take a village, and we're really pleased to have all of you helping us out. We couldn't do it without you, that's for sure. Kristen Gilmore, yes. Anissa Weisen, yes. Polly Mayer, thank you so much for all of your help and all of your love, financial, emotional, spiritual. You get what I'm saying. I hope that I am visible to the people right now as well as able to be heard. But in any case, I want to introduce somebody else very important and special to us here at Shunpike, Rainier Avenue Radio. Client of Rainier of Shunpike, Rainier Avenue Radio can be found broadcasting online at www.rainieravenueradio.world. They're South Seattle's community radio station and media hub, and they are dedicated to engaging with critical issues, compelling stories, and quality entertainment. So here's our good pal and neighbor and Rainier Avenue Radio founder, Tony Benton.
We had a guest on from our community who was COVID-19 positive before they even talking about this at anywhere other than Kirkland. And so at that point, it became really clear that the voices of our community and the needs of our community needed to be heard. And so the decision was made. I made a decision that every Friday we were going to broadcast coronavirus specials. That was March 13th. And here we are. And it's not only still relevant, it's still just as important and possibly even more important. And at the same time, again, making sure that we have that balancing act so that when people, whatever it is, I'll just call it escape, and they just want to hear their favorite song, or they just want to hear their favorite show that's talking about something nonsensical, that we still provide that as well. The big struggle right now is trying to make sure that we're representative of the needs of our community. Because of isolation, it's difficult for people to gather. And we want to make sure that everything that our community is going through right now that is exacerbated by the pandemic comes to light. With all that we have going on, having a fiscal sponsor like Shunpike that understands what we do, the role that we play, because it'd be easy to think, is this really art? But they've been very incredibly supportive, easy to work with. I brag about Shunpike, and I don't have to kiss anybody's butt, But the ability to have an organization like this that can handle the accounts that require that, and at the same time are sensitive to the needs of, creativity. And the business world and the creative world don't always mesh, and to have an entity, that can bridge that for you is incredibly important. And I'm proud to be part of the, Shunpike family.
You about to hit your show?
We got a minute.
You're on the ready.
Do we have a Steve Burndown? Daniel?
Huh?
Steve is Steve.
Oh yeah, he's on.
Okay.
And you are on in about 10 seconds.
All right. Welcome to Rainier Avenue Radio.world. It's me, your host, Tony B, and this is our regular Friday coronavirus show. Impacts of the coronavirus on South Seattle and surrounding.
Thank you so much, Tony Benton, doing the real good work over there at Rainier Avenue Radio. One time I called him because, he's one of my clients. One time I called him up and he's like, oh, I have to get off the phone because I have to go interview Jeffrey Osborne. Those of you who are in the soft sounds of R&B from the 80s and 90s will understand Jeffrey Osborne. They get stuff. They get people. It's fantastic over there. And they're doing such good work making sure the community is actually connected to what's going on. So we certainly appreciate being able to help them facilitate all those good things. So next up, we would like to welcome Joel John from Crowdsource Choir. This is your program of Shunpike. Oh, Joel.
What's up, Rebecca?
It's moving slowly. The little thing is going around in a circle, so I'm sure that Joel will show up at any moment now.
Can you see me? Can you hear me?
Yes, Tommy, can you hear me? Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great. It's so great to see you.
It's great to see you too and hear you at the same time, which is not always the case.
And I don't have a mask on because I'm inside and far away from everybody else.
Exactly. I'm in my house with I'll introduce her later, but I have an emotional support horse named Danisha. But we don't have to wear masks because we're in the same pod. It all makes sense a little bit later. People stop pinging me. I got to talk to Joel now. Joel, I have some questions for you. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Hit me.
Awesome. So first of all, where in the world are you geographically?
Right now, I'm in Columbia City.
Mm-hmm.
So right by the light rail station, in
Perfect.
my backyard, in my shed that I've remodeled during COVID.
That is such a great COVID project. Remodeling the shed. It looks real nice. You can rent that. That's Airbnb-able.
I'm not letting anybody in here. This is my space.
It's yours. That is great. Okay, so tell us now about the concept of crowdsourced choir. It's pretty unique, I'd have to say.
Well, I miss it. That's the first thing I gotta say. I miss singing together with people in real life. So
So the name crowdsourced though. Why did you pick that? That's evocative. Tell us about that.
Well, crowdsource kind of came out of a personal deep longing for, community connection without all of the barriers and a love for singing. So, you think about this world we live in, we've got perfectly pitched voices that we hear in the grocery store all of the time. We've got all of these ideas about us not being good enough and not being able to sing. And we all have voices, and the idea is basically just kind of recovering kind of this ancient idea of gathering in community and singing together. So I needed that. I'll tell you the moment where I was like, we got to do this. I was on the light rail coming home from Century Lake Field, and we had come from a U2 concert. And all of a sudden, we had this awesome experience, and all of a sudden, everybody was just like on their phone, right? on the train on the way home. And I'm like, what is going on? We just had an awesome experience together, and now everybody's back into zombie zone. So I just broke out into a U2 song on the train, and everybody joined in and dropped their phones. And it was like,
did you make them all sing?
Yeah, everybody, we sang 3 songs before we got off at Columbia City. And then I got off and I told my wife, I'm like, this is why we're here. This is why we exist, to sing together like that. Yeah. No barriers.
Yeah.
So that's where
that is a beautiful thing.
That's where crowdsource came into it.
It's a beautiful thing. I only had something like that when I used to live in Chicago, because my stop was near Wrigley Field. So no matter what, at some point, if you were going past it before, after, or during a game, somebody would start Take Me Out to the Ball Game.
Yes.
And everybody would sing it. And we'd all, and you couldn't stay mad as you were at your day job. If you're singing, you can't be mad. It lifts you up, right?
Precisely. Rebecca, I grew up in Chicago.
Shut up.
I grew up in
I'm talking about the Sheridan. I'm talking about the Sheridan stop, on the red line.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
So you know how Wrigley gets crazy?
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like it, because I'm from the Northwest. So I'm like, what do you mean? Everybody's claiming flu and they're leaving work to go watch a team they know will lose? It's a whole different thing. But I digress, and you have something fun to show us. So I understand you have, you and the gang have prepared a little something to share with us, musically speaking.
So before we jump into that,
just say yes, Joel.
Yes, I'll say yes. Am I gone?
Did you have something you wanted to add before we do the thing?
Well, I just want to say, crowdsource.
You're about to be.
Crowdsource.
You want to say happy birthday to somebody? Because otherwise we're going to show them all about it.
Choir is a drop-in choir. Everybody's invited. No tryouts.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. And if people go to shunpike.org and look up crowdsource choir, they can find out more about it, right?
Absolutely.
That is fantastic. So for now, friends and neighbors, ladies and gentlemen, take it away, crowdsource choir. Show us something fun.
One, 2, 3, and clap.
Follow the sun, which way the wind blows, this day is done. Breathe in the air, set your intention, dream with care. Every day for everyone, brand new sun. Follow the sun, the direction of the bird, the direction of love. Breathe in the air, cherish this moment, cherish this breath. Every day for everyone, brand new sun. When you feel you heavyweight, when you squeeze all the strain, take some to see this water. breeze they blow in. What does your heart say? 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 Follow, follow the sun, and which way the wind blows when this day is done.
We need to redo this.
I think it's just great the way it was.
Yay! Crowdsource Choir! That was fantastical. Thank you so much, Joel, and everybody over there. Yeah, it's drop in. So if you ever, like, sang in junior high, high school, college, whatever, like I did, and you want a place to go sing, there is one. No audition. You're in. How fantastic is that? Whew, easy as falling off a log, I tell you what. All right, friends and neighbors, ladies and gentlemen, time to get your bids in the online auction if you have not already. Once again, where you need to go is shunpike.org/golden-2020. Get on over there. If you're so excited watching me and you just want me to tell you what's over there, I will. Run, don't walk for the Rolling Huts. 3 nights in the picturesque Methow Valley of Washington, designed by the fantastic architect Tom Kundig of Olson Kundig Architects as a modern alternative to camping. It's great winter, spring, or summer escape. Not fall. It's not a script, so don't go in the fall. Artwork by Kokir Kamahila, who was one of our storefront's artists. And Kirk deconstructed 2 canvases thread by thread, meticulously reconstructed them into one single stunning piece of artwork. And Kirk has exhibited at the Fry Art Museum and the Ford Cultural Gallery in a pseudo exhibition as well. Oh yeah, you can bid on it. Also, feel like traveling to Mexico? Sure you do. We're going to have to wait way at least into 2021 to do it. But this is valid until 2022. 4 nights in historic Merida, Mexico, in a stunning colonial home. Pictures on the website. Sleeps 4. And you can explore the nearby Mayan ruins and swim in cenotes. I hope I am saying cenotes right. Anyway, 4 nights in historic Merida, Mexico, not to be missed. Also on our list of fun things, and by the way, this is not everything. I'm just going to read you chunk by chunk to tantalize and tease you to head on over to the website. Something we're calling Tone from Home. It's private Pilates training with trainer Lauren Keel, who will come to you via Zoom. Something to do in COVID times. You get 3 private Pilates sessions, plus the fitness gear that you'll need. Increased muscle strength is yours, plus tone, and you'll become more balanced and a more beautiful, beautiful bubble person. So those are just a smidgen, just a taste of what's available for you. Where? Say it again, shunpike.org/golden-2020. Get over there and get to bidding. Or if nothing appeals, get to giving us whatever the spirit moves you. A little donation here, there, everywhere. At this point, I would like to introduce a sculpture and installation artist and yet another fantastic participant in Shunpike's storefront program, June Sekiguchi.
My studio is my sacred place. Entering the studio space, even though it's not a pretty place, but it's a place where I can really work out things that I need to in myself, but also these projects that are lined up that I can really express and try to be creative and not be just bottled up in not being able to move forward in the pandemic. Art is vital and necessary to us as a culture, as a society. Like without that, there is no heart or soul. That's all vital personally to me, but as a culture, I think we need art, music, dance, theater, all the arts, literature, we would, you know, it's just a human condition and necessity. I've been able to do 2 storefronts now with Shunpike. So one was on Mercer Street in a very narrow space, and then the old Macy's building. And it's just a great opportunity to bring art out to the public. You know, you're not requiring them to go into a gallery or museum. So it kind of makes it more democratic process of viewing art. And so, and great opportunity for artists to be able to take a space and you know, change it in their own way, and you know, activates the city scene, the cityscape. So I think it's a brilliant, great, wonderful thing.
Thank you so much for that news. Shunpike has been proudly serving Washington arts community for nearly 2 decades, as I said. And now we're more motivated than ever to help artists thrive and explore sustainable avenues for producing and sharing their work. So in order for us to continue providing equitable support, resources, and opportunities to our region's creators, we rely on support from you. And so far, I just got an update, so exciting. We are up to $15,000 so far, give or take. Keep it up. I want to thank the Shunpike board so much. I want to thank Bhavani, and I want to thank Martin and Michael behind the scenes while I'm thinking of it. Thank you all so much for keeping it going. And for, there's like ducks, you know how behind, but underneath the ducks, the feet are like going like 50,000 miles. That's how we are right now. We're cool and calm up here, and below, the feet are moving. So I see you all. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much. Next up, I would like to introduce a multi-instrumentalist who has dedicated his life to transforming the world's stale status quo into a vibrant, inclusive, communal, and compassionate society. Well, that's worthwhile. That's what I like to say. So this is the first of 2 performances tonight. How lucky are we? So without any further ado, please welcome Benjamin Hunter.
Hello, everybody. My name is Benjamin Hunter. I'm here on behalf of Shunpike's Golden Backstage Pass fundraiser tonight. Thank you guys all for being here with me. I'm going to play you guys a couple songs that I wrote. Certainly, this fundraiser is monumentally important. I've been in partnership with Shunpike for almost, maybe even over 10 years now. Nonprofit Community Arts Create, and the support that they give artists and small arts organizations is essential, especially through this pandemic that is the most hardest hit on the gig economy and arts and cultural workers. So you know, your money goes a long way in advocating and supporting you know.
Okay. We're having a bit of a spot of trouble, I think. I'm not sure if I'm live. I'm fairly certain that I am. I would like to thank you very much, Benjamin Hunter. I'm sorry we got truncated. We'll find a way to bring you back on the other end, and everything is going to be just fine. I believe my bid is still the leading bid on that fantastic black and white photo from Charles Peterson. But we also have some photography lessons. Pardon me. I'm getting a little something. Something's coming in. Anyway, it's a very intricate system that's happening right here. Since we are talking about Backstage, I'll give you a little peek inside. We're using a format that's called StreamYard. I haven't seen it before, but it's head and shoulders above some other things, including our friends at Zoom. So we're trying to use that. I've also got a ring light. I've also got my cell phone telling me what's what from people all around Seattle who have things to say to me right now. It'd be great if they just wait a second till I'm done talking to you, our friends and family at home, and then I'll respond to all of you. I promise that I will. But right now, I would like to introduce Mary Ann Osborne. Oh, Mary Ann is a wonder, just truly a beautiful person. She's a theater artist and so much more. And through her group, the Mahogany Project, of which she is the executive director, she is able to spread so much joy and hope and enthusiasm and art. So without any further ado, please won't you welcome Mary Ann Osborne. or not.
Hi, everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful Backstage Pass party time. My name is Marianne Osborne, and I'm the Executive Director of the Mahogany Project, one of many arts organizations fiscally sponsored by Shunpike. The Mahogany Project started in 2006 when 7 African American women from multidisciplinary genres got together and said, hey, we don't see ourselves represented in the arts community here in Seattle, not in decision-making roles, not behind the scenes or in front of the scenes. So we're going to create this organization that can showcase not only our talents, but the talents of others in the community as we share our stories and experiences as part of the African diaspora. I joined the organization in 2015, and I remember going to the Shunpike office at that time that was located in Pioneer Square. Our organization had already been a member of Shunpike since 2007, and here I was in 2015 meeting my client manager, Maine Nguyen, and also the executive director at that time, Jennifer Berry. And after meeting them, I thought, oh, yes, this is just so right on time, because they are there and they continue to be there to support artists, to support arts organizations, and to make sure that we thrive. They walked me through the process of what it meant to be a client of Shunpike, how they do their business, how we can partner together to make things work and to bring our voice to the broader community. And realize that that means a lot. So Backstage Pass to our organization is that right now we're just a one person show. That's me, but I don't feel alone when I'm with Shunpike. I know that they are there with me, working with me, helping me pay artists and vendors, supporting me with referrals if I need them, helping us pay our taxes and writing donor letters and all of the benefits that come with a 501c3. Behind the scenes, in terms of Backstage Pass, I really appreciate the staff. The staff is so key to Shunpike's success. Many of them are artists, like our wonderful Rebecca Davis. I mean, they understand what artists and arts organizations go through, some of the barriers and challenges that we face. So whenever I have a question or need something to be thought through, they're there to help me in any way they can. And if they don't have the answers, they're there to kind of brainstorm with me, which is really, really nice. Also, of course, just all the hard work they do behind the scenes to make sure that all of the organizations are supported. And also, I love their innovation. They're always thinking of ways that they can support the arts community. And one of them that I really liked was ACES that took place this year, right before the pandemic really hit. ACES is the Artists of Color Expo and Symposium, and the Mahogany Project was able to participate. We had a panel that spotlighted the African American Writers Alliance and some playwrights that we, the Mahogany Project, were working with to produce their new works. And being a part of that panel and seeing all the artists that Shunpike represented in that space, artists of color, was just really, this was at the Seattle Center, and it was just really wonderful and exciting to see. And it made me know I was part of a broader family, right, of Shunpike clients. And also I've been really thankful that they've been taking the lead for a lot of us with learning more about how we can continue to thrive as arts community during the pandemic, holding workshops, having discussions, really working hard to talk about reopening and reimagining where our communities, our arts community, our businesses, just ourselves in general, how we're going to move through this global pandemic to the next step and to continue doing what we do. So through all the changes in our organization and their organization, we've always been there for each other side by side in partnership. And I really appreciate
Everybody's
that.
jumping on the
And
internet at home and it's
today's
interfering with
the
my
day,
private
if there's
connection.
any day where you can show your thanks and love by, hey, writing a check, giving some money, if you have it. And if you can give it, That would be really great.
If I can figure out a way to put my laptop on my phone, I'll do it.
So many, not only my organization or the organizations they represent, but that means the artists and the communities and the audiences that see all the work. It's just like a domino effect. And at the beginning of that is Shunpike there in the background, in the backstage paths, helping all of us in the foreground. So thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the event, watching all the great artists that are affiliated with Shunpike. And don't forget, write a check. Now's the day or tomorrow before the end of the year, get your tax credit. But if you can do it, just do it and just show love in whatever way you can. Thank you, Shunpike. Thank you, Shunpike team. And thank you to all of you out there who are watching this event. Really appreciate it. And none of us could do it without the support of the community. So take care. Marianne, peace, love out, and enjoy your backstage pass.
Oh, Marianne Osborne, thank you so much for that heartfelt speech on our behalf. I so appreciate it, and I so appreciate you and everything that you do. And folks, we would love it if this is the time that you would choose to go over to shunpike.org and make a donation. Operators, well, the technological ones are standing by now. We can use everything. Anything you can hand to us. We'd be over the moon and ecstatic if we made it. I'm going to get an update in a moment, which will tell us exactly where we are in our fundraising efforts this evening. We're on our way to $60,000, and last time I checked in, we were right around 15. So let's see if we made it to 20. Would that be wonderful? Before Marion came in, we had tried to bring you our lovely friend Ben Hunter. But as you can see, ain't nothing perfect in this world, not right now. We're doing our best to roll with all the punches, and we so appreciate your attentions while we work it all out. We have people literally at 4 different places in Seattle right now trying to make this whole thing work and be an entertaining evening for you. So if nothing else, I sure hope you're entertained. And once again, we are going to, one moment. Oh my gosh! Can you see that? No, you can't. Sorry for me to blind you. We just hit $20,000. Gabon! Thank you very much. And even I can do that math and say that we are 1/3 of the way to our goal tonight. Very exciting. So thank you very much. And meanwhile, I would very much like to share with you our good friend, Benjamin Hunter from Community Arts Create. Let's give it a go.
Hello, everybody. My name is Benjamin Hunter. I'm here on behalf of Shunpike's Golden Backstage Pass fundraiser tonight. Thank you guys all for being here with me. I'm going to play you guys a couple songs that I wrote. Certainly this fundraiser is monumentally important. I've been in partnership with Shunpike for almost maybe even over 10 years now through my nonprofit Community Arts Create, and the support that they give artists and small arts organizations is essential, especially through this pandemic that is the most hardest hit on the gig economy and arts and cultural workers. So you know your money goes a long way in advocating and supporting for what I consider one of the most essential human services that are out there. This first song that I'm gonna do is a song I wrote some time ago. Pardon my French if there are any French speakers out there, but I wrote it in response to reading more about Haiti and the revolution that catapulted a whole Western response with racism and oppression that continued through the rest of the other Caribbean colonies and into North America. And so this song is called Matre, s'il vous plaît, pardonnez-vous, translated to Mother Earth, please forgive us. And I think that just like Mother Earth, we will be resilient, but still we need to know our history. Here it goes.
Relatable. Who forgot to put her mic back on? This moi, because she forgot to turn it off before and you got to hear me say things. Backstage. Okay, have that theme and a flat crepe and cake. Anyway, so it looks like we are having some more difficulty with our good friend Ben Hunter, but don't worry, we're down, but we're not out. He has a whole nother performance that we can share with you in a little while. So stay tuned for that. I would like to remind you once again to bid in the online auction. Everything is live right now until 9 p.m. So you can get your bids in now, you can get your donations in now, and for which we, of course, thank you. But it's going to be open till 9, so you're going to want to keep your eye on it. And where do you keep your eye on it? I'm so glad you asked. Shunpike.org/golden-2020. Once again, that's shunpike.org/golden-2020. What will you see when you go there? Fantastic items, such as, here's a few more, just to wet your whistle. The J. Reinhardt Gallery and the artist Joseph Steininger are teaming up to create an exclusive event for you and 3 of your guests. So 4 altogether, this many. You're going to start at Joseph's studio in the historic TK building. It is actually, you should Google that, it's fascinating. And you're going to enjoy a behind-the-scene look at the artist process, walk away with a gift of one of his artworks. And then you'll meander over to the gallery 1 block away for cocktails and snacks and a tour of the gallery. And you will enjoy a $500 credit to use towards the purchase of an artwork at the gallery. What? $500? Fantastic. Both you and each of your 3 guests will also receive an artwork gift from the artist, Joseph Steininger. Thank you so much. This exclusive experience offers you and your guests the opportunity to ask all the questions you wanted to know about collecting art, but perhaps we're afraid to ask. Go beyond just matching the picture to the couch. This is your chance. All right, also on that page, bright and colorful artwork itself. Glass art by Fumiano, who runs the glass studio at Pratt. They're an incredible artist in their own right, and they have a floral panel entitled Home Here by, oh, this is a different one, by Nina Vishapai. And this is located, this person also participated in storefronts. So you've seen a lot of our folks in storefronts, and we encourage you also when you're out and about, fully masked and 6 feet apart, to check out some of our storefronts, because we're still brightening up the streets for them's what's in it. But without further ado, and I hope, Lena, get ready, this is going to be you. Without further ado, I would like to introduce, once again, our fantastic executive director, Lena Sandsmark.
A huge shout out to Rebecca, who manages to be funny even when technology's making her a little bit fuzzy. I'm going to introduce the next piece of artwork, I guess. It's a collaborative thing. Earlier this year, we had thought that we would be facilitating a new workshop and rehearsal space for artists in a brand new 36-story office building in downtown Seattle called 2&U. We'd envisioned scheduling dozens of artists a month, and we will be doing that in the future, but COVID delayed these plans. Thankfully, though, with support from the building developers and owners, Skanska, instead, we've been able to host a handful of performers, one at a time, in 3-week residencies there. So as a result, the first and still actually the only people able to go to work in this big office building, in addition to the people who manage it, are musicians and dancers. We thought this was such a unique and unprecedented phenomenon, we wanted to document it. So we got exclusive access to the building, and with beautiful performances from composer and musician Gretchen Janover, from movement artists Robert Moore, Thesis, and Noel Price, what you're about to see is a music video that is the culmination of this documentation. Enjoy.
The fantastic music by Gretchen Yanover and our dancers, Noelle Price, Robert Moore, and Thesis. Mwah! Fantastical. Absolutely wonderful. So here at Shunpike, as you may be gathering, we also have external programs for those of you who don't know what we do, such as Tune You, we just saw an example of that. We have our storefronts for our other artists, and we also have a thing called ACES, which is the Artists of Color Expo and Symposium. So we'd love to show you a little highlight reel from our last ACES. Are they listed in the credits anywhere? Question mark?
I'm here supporting ACES because I think it's an incredible program that cities all across the country need. I also think that Seattle is a really exciting time right now because there's a lot of incredible artists of color doing incredible work, and to be able to showcase it in a way that is like fun but accessible is, I think, something that I had to be at.
This is our second year of doing it, and we're really excited about how much it's really been a way of really bringing artists of color together. They inspired the idea, they've been leading this effort and really centering them so that we can celebrate the brilliance and creativity and the value that artists of color deserve in our society.
When I first saw that there was this Artists of Color Expo and Symposium happening in Seattle, I was like, gotta be there. I've been back and forth between Cali and Seattle my whole life. And when I got here, I immediately met some amazingly talented artists of color, right? But it was so fragmented. So it's like bridging these folks and bringing folks together that I think really helps. You know, we can collaborate together and create, you know, greater movements, greater art, and just benefit, and you know, our communities even more.
Art is important to our community right now because it is a very intentional way that we're able to demand fair wages and labor practices. So all these different ways in which our elders and ancestors have fought for fair wages, for fair housing, for all those different things, art plays a huge role in that. So an opportunity, especially for Black and brown artists, to kind of sit together, talk to each other, and to be honest about what is going really well for us or what we kind of need support on, I think is hugely invaluable.
An event like this where it really centers people of color as artists and looks at POC and Black artists in a professional way that they're not usually seen or not easily seen is really powerful. It's very apparent that we all have so much to learn from each other. But I think just bringing us all together so that we can view each other's work and process, because it's not so easily accessible in mainstream galleries and institutions and schools and art programs. It's just like we had to carve this out for ourselves so that we could do that work.
I am here today to show my fashions from past collections and talked about my history in fashion and the inspiration and the process of being a designer slash seamstress. To be a part of this kind of brings back that feeling of having a collective and being surrounded by other artists of color. It gives me a place to get inspired, to inspire other people. That's what excited me about this.
I know, being an immigrant kid, how crucial it was to my life. When I couldn't speak any English, it was art that helped to motivate me to stay in school and to learn. I know for many kids and families, art is a lifesaver.
And so I think that this question of like, is there a room for art when there is so much going on? The answer is absolutely. You cannot underestimate how important your work is to the world right now. It is so critical because art makes people feel seen. It makes people feel a sense of belonging and community and hope. And we are in desperate need of hope and beauty right now.
I think one thing is beautiful about the arts is that it's produced from our bodies. Whether you're a painter, you're using your body to create the gesture of the movement. Whether you're a singer, you're using your lungs to create an emotion. Whether you're a dancer, you're using your body to create things. And we all have that we can relate to. And even if you don't understand it, there's something that you can use as an access point to discuss things. That is, I think, where the sparks happen. And that only happens in the arts because it's a very particular approach to exploring our humanity.
Folks of color don't necessarily have a space. Especially here in Seattle, we don't necessarily have a space other than like the community that we form among our own people. And in many aspects, that community is always under attack, whether it's through gentrification, through other sorts of forms of capitalism. Racism is still very deep in American society. So by not having a space, it's very difficult for us to be authentically ourselves. And spaces like ACES for sure just allows for myself and everybody that was performing and has their art displayed today to have that space that hopefully we'll for sure have permanently.
What a blast. ACES. Yes, people, look for it. It's upcoming. We're figuring out how to pivot everything onto some sort of video, like all video platform, not like back and forth like we're doing here tonight, but the in-person ACES Expo was so amazing last year. I want to make sure and shout out the people that made that particular little film that you watched. Kamira and Amy Pinion, thank you so much. That was a beautiful, beautiful video. And the video we saw earlier, well, somebody will give me that information, but I want to thank who made that because it was a wonderful video, wonderfully edited, and that's a lot of work. And we so appreciate everybody helping out with all of that. Are you ready to hear a little more about what's happening in the auction? Because I'm ready to tell you. It's that time. Yeah. We have a 3-night escape to Portugal. I just had a friend move there, and all his pictures on Instagram are making me so jealous. It's so colorful and vibrant and alive. And you will get in your 3-night escape to Portugal a beautiful private apartment in the heart of this historic city. 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, no fighting, sleeps 4. And again, you win this tonight by 9 p.m. That's valid until 2022. We got time, people. We got time for you to collect all these fantastic prizes and enjoy them thoroughly. And speaking of enjoying thoroughly, we also have a private dinner for 12 at Staple and Fancy. Yeah, you ever hear of it? Let me tell you all about it. Award-winning Ethan Stoll restaurant, and it's great for your first gathering with family or friends when you get back out in the world, because this too is valid until 2022. think ahead to the holidays, folks. Think ahead to where your next gift giving season will be. Some of these things would make pretty nifty additions to anybody's stocking and or tree and or mantelpiece or wherever you put your little gifts. Again, closes at 9. Get over to shunpike.org/golden-2020. That's where you can donate money. That's where you can also bid on the item, which is just giving you such joy, such as, and I've saved it to the very end, but there is over there a fantastic black and white of Kurt Cobain from October 31st, 1991. And people, I was in Seattle at the time that picture was taken, so it's very, 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 very exciting to me. It's taken by Charles Chuck Peterson, and you can bid on it right now. If you go with InstaBuy, if you put all the money up front, it's about $1,875, but who's counting? But otherwise, I'll bid you for it. That's all I'm saying. I'm a grunge girl who's got the space on a credit card, apparently. Who am I? I don't know. Anyway, at this point in time, I would very much like to turn this over, of course, to our lovely, lovely Lena to close us out. Lena, are you there? Lena Sandsmark. Oh, that's it. That's
I'm
the
here. I'm here. Rebecca, thank you so much for guiding us through this evening. I know we're gonna toss it back to you, but I just want to say thank you for rolling with all the punches. Technology threw you a couple of curveballs, but it's been great following you tonight. I want to give a huge thanks to our board of directors and to the rest of the staff who I have the pleasure of working with every day. I want to say thanks to our sponsors and our generous auction donors. And I want to give a huge thanks to Michael B. Main, who's our studio producer here. Also, of course, last but not least, all of the artists that we get to work with. We're so grateful for everything that you do, and not least of all, so grateful to the artists that we got the honor of being able to present tonight. And then thank you to everyone who's donating and bidding on auction items. We can't do this. We can't do the work that we do without your support. So thank you to everyone who supports Shunpike. Thanks.
Thank you, Lena. Grace under pressure. That's our Lena Sandsmark. Woo! Party! I wish it was safe for us to all be, popping a bottle in the same place right now, because I can taste it from here. But I want to make sure as well to thank, why so many text messages, Rebecca? I don't know. I would like to shout out the great filmmakers, Michael Main, Dan Strothman, Cody Lewis, and of course, the fantastic Textmeister himself, Martin Tran, keeping me sane on the phone tonight. I thank you so very much for all of that. I'm Rebecca M. Davis. I'm also the founder of the Stay Up Late Show, and I'm a co-producer of What the Funk, which is also sponsored by Shunpike, fiscally sponsored. I want to thank you all for sticking with us tonight, for joining us here, for donating, and for bidding on this very special golden event. Unprecedented. We've never done this before. And I want to remind you, the auction closes at 9. But playing us out tonight is, we're going to try and do it. This is going to be the one. I feel it. Here comes his intro. A multi-instrumentalist who has dedicated his life to transforming the world's status quo into a vibrant, inclusive, communal, and compassionate society. Here is Ben Hunter.
This next song I'm gonna play for you guys is a song I wrote called New Futures. And I don't know, it kind of leans on Black radicalist traditions and the fact that this struggle that we're in is older than America or what we think of as freedom just for this country, but it also kind of brings to mind Black Lives Matter and the idea that we can't be free until black people's freedom struggles are really freedom struggles for everybody, and have been for forever, so that's kind of what this song is for, and the idea that we have to maintain hope as hard as that is sometimes to to envision for ourselves. Also, donate money to this fundraiser. All the cameras that are here. Did you find them children? Find them children. They done run on. They done run on. They done run on. I went to find a new dawn. Something they can smile on. Did you find them children? You find them children. They left a letter, they wrote a letter, left early morning, left early morning, they left early morning, and where they going, ain't telling no one, wrote a letter, wrote a letter. Went off in the country, went off in the country, to the mountain, to the river, to the valley. I went to talk to that old grove, sit down with a tree folk. Went off in the country, went off in the country. They said they'd be back. They said they'd be back when the moon shines, when the moon shines, when the moon shines, and the wolf cries, and the dream dies. They said they'd be back. They said they'd be back.
Did you find them children? Did you find them children?
Thank you, everybody. Hope you have a wonderful night. Again, thank you to Shunpike for having me, and the Rendezvous for hosting. And see y'all later.